I'm not in my car for once. Miracle! Alright, anyhow, I'm coming here to talk to you about discipline. Yeah, discipline. So, I'm wondering if you're a parent, if you approve or disapprove of the following situation. I came from a very, 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 very violent biological home. Okay? And the amount of abuse that I have endured is so extensive and so graphic that I'm going to spare you. I moved in when I was 5, turning 6. They adopted me when I was 9. Up to the point I was about 11 years old, I would have very emotional emoting sessions. I would just cry uncontrollably. I would get very angry and punch my pillows and throw things around my room. I would scream on the top of my lungs. Most of it was, you know, you're gonna leave, this isn't forever, you don't really love me, nobody can love me. It was stuff like that, stuff that an abused child would normally have to cycle through in order to process and get through trauma. Mike's response to this and Marsha's approval was to sit on top of me. Literally drag me by my arm into the living room and sit on top of me until I was so exhausted that when he got up, I wouldn't even move right away. Now, Mike used to weigh 350, 400 pounds. He was huge, huge. And I was just a little child. So you have to understand the authority and the power control that he was experiencing was exhilarating to him. And I actually think, knowing that he is a drug addict and he is highly addicted to prescription medication, even prescription medication that he doesn't need to be prescribed, knowing this now, I can understand how exhilarating that it must have been for him to be able to just sit on top of somebody and just, you know? And it must have felt gratifying to him that when he got up and took all his weight off of me that I wouldn't even move. I mean, that obviously was like a high five to himself because he won, I guess is how he saw it. However, I have a child now and I'm a mom. Let me tell you, she's 14 and she definitely has times where, whoo, girls, boys, gentlemen, ladies, let me tell you, she gives me a run for my money. But you know what? I signed up for this. And if there weren't the hard times, I wouldn't know and appreciate the good and great times I have with her. I don't discipline the way that I was disciplined. I don't hit my child. I don't sit on top of my child. I don't manipulate my child. Nowadays, it's pretty easy to discipline my child. Give me your phone now. Now. It's about all it takes. And then I get my sweet little girl back. So anyway, do you approve or disapprove of sitting on top of a child to discipline them, for them to have emotional needs and emotional outpouring from obvious trauma? Do you feel that that situation was handled appropriately or inappropriately? I'm going to reserve my complete opinion on the situation until I hear some from others. I don't want to influence, I don't want my thoughts to necessarily completely influence your opinion. So I do want to encourage you though that if you take a child in from the state, or if your child has dealt with any kind of trauma of any sort and has a need for emotional expression or even just to get the emotional yuckiness out, please don't sit on your child. Please do not use your physical power against your child. That's abuse. Your child won't forget it. If anything, these situations that I share with you have really been opening my eyes to just how fucked up my childhood was, as is most everybody's. But the thing that sucks about this is I'm seeing the intent. I'm seeing the conscientious choices. I'm seeing the purposeful and executed choices that my parents made. This wasn't just, oops, it's a parenting style, or oops, it was just this. No, this was intentional, often premeditated, and very inappropriate. I mentioned in a previous video about the level of nudity that I was exposed to as a foster child in this foster home and then adopted into that home. And that is not okay. I know for a fact that today's day and age, if a foster parent is walking around in front of the foster children naked, the state's coming and taking those kids and shutting that foster home down. There's all different types of child pornography. And there's all different types of pedophiles. Unfortunately, for me, I didn't have a voice when I was a child to be able to tell somebody that this wasn't right because I didn't know it wasn't right. Like if you're raised by monkeys and you think you're a monkey, same thing. But I know what's right and wrong now, and I'm advocating for other parents and other children and other adoptees to be able to help distinguish for them what's right and what's wrong, and help for them to be able to relate through yucky, disgusting things that happened to me. Peace.